We've gotten secure in our predestination that we've wrapped it so tight we've cut off the flow of God. We, as the bride of Christ, we've wrapped ourselves in a blanket of predestination. We've gotten secure in our predestination that we've wrapped it so tight we've cut off the flow of God. You've gotten so tight, wrapped up so tight in your own self, and I'm good, and God's dealing with me, and my family's good, and I'm predestinated, and I'm wrapping up in my security blanket, and nobody can take that from me because I'm predestinated. But we've gotten to a place that we forgot about other people. We're so consumed with ourselves that we forgot about other people that maybe haven't got to that place yet. Maybe they haven't got into that ark of safety yet. They're still standing outside of the door. Who's going to lead them in? You know, are you? If you're so consumed in your predestination, are you in a position that you can lead somebody to Christ? Or if you've stuck yourself off in a corner and just said, I'm secure, I'm safe, God's taking care of me. I don't know if anybody here has chickens. Anybody, y'all have any chickens? We have some chickens at home, and I love to watch chickens. Whenever it's warmer, I can sit outside and watch them, but right now it's a bit cold. But chickens are funny. But I've learned some things. I read in Job where he said you can learn things from the beasts. You can, so I didn't feel out of place whenever I kind of got a little lesson sitting out there watching my chickens in the evening. Well, the thing about chickens, they like to get up in their nest. That's their place of safety. So at the end of the day, you can let them out. They'll be free ranging. At the end of the day, they all start getting closer and closer to their coop, and they'll run, and then one by one, they'll go in, they'll climb up inside, and once they're up inside, that's where they are till the next morning, whenever the sun comes out, and they'll come out one by one. But I was sitting out there, Brother Steve, one day, just sitting in a chair, just watching them peck around and everything, and as it was getting close to dark, most of them went in. We have 11. So 2 of them were still outside. They were just milling around, completely oblivious to the rest that had already went inside and got up in the coop. And so they're running around and chasing little bugs and stuff. And in one, it was like it all of a sudden had an epiphany, and it starts moving its head around and says, "Wait a minute, where's everybody going?" So it makes a beeline, goes inside the little door and runs inside and goes up. And the last one had been running back and forth along the run. The run's about 25 feet long, and it was going back and forth, running past the door. Couldn't find its way in. And I was sitting there, I was like, well, maybe I should go down there and try to encourage it to go in, because it was almost dark. And then something strange happened. I hadn't seen it before. One of the other hens climbed down the ramp, come back over, because the door wasn't directly in line with it, came out of the coop, came over and stood in the doorway. And as the other hen, the loose one, was out, it came past it, it got its attention, and it followed it inside. Then I went down and locked the door. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. There was one that was left outside, couldn't find its way back in. And one that was safe, that was in its place of security, came out, got itself a little bit outside of the norm, got itself out of its security blanket, and stood next to the door to lead that one in. And I about had a rejoicing fit, because I'm sitting there singing, that's the way it was for me. I couldn't find myself. I couldn't find my own way. But God could. And you could go buy this if this is a doorway, you could go buy it and buy it and buy it, and your mind is so confused that you can't receive it, you can't see it, you don't understand that this is the way I need to go. But somebody comes and they step down and they take you by the hand and they say, come on. This is your place of safety. This is the way to get back to Christ. I sat there and cried because I watched a chicken give me a lesson on how I should be. And I realized that too many times we're not standing close enough to the door. We're not close enough to Christ because He is our door. And if you can get closer to Him, you'll be able to lead somebody to Him. Don't get so wrapped up in your own problems and your own ideas and your own situations that you're going through, and that self-centeredness, that egocentric attitude. Get yourself close to Christ. He is the door. If you're standing next to the door, you become that door, and you can open it, and you can allow them to come in to a place of safety.